The angel answering said unto him, I am Gabriel, that stand in the presence of God, and am sent to speak unto thee, and to show thee these glad tidings. What's another promise that the angels always gave whenever they would appear to mankind? They would say, good, glad tidings I bring to you. Fear not. Behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. This is a way that God uses these angels. The Bible says in verse 20, and behold, thou shalt be dumb and not able to speak until the day that these things shall be performed, because thou believest not my words, which shall be fulfilled in their season. Now, let me paraphrase a little bit before we go on. While Zacharias is in the temple, while he's doing what the priest is supposed to do, just for you can see it in your mind, all right? There is a time period that typically the priest would have come out to the people. Remember, during their sacrificial time, they would bring their sacrifice, the blood would be shed, taken into the mercy seat, prayed over, God would accept it, burn it up. He would come out and he would say, it's all good. God accepted that. Everything is right. The people would shout, rejoice. What? For a whole nother year then, there has been an atonement made for their sin for that year. Remember, all before Jesus has been born, all right? So there they are, and they're praying. I can only guess. We can only speculate at the amount of time, but you would think with that many people all okay, I'm going to tell you something. In February, there's a great camp meeting. We go to it every year. I love to go to the camp meeting. I love to go get fed. I love the preaching and all that. But one of my favorite things about that camp meeting is the prayer time. Because it's not your typical prayer time. It's not the typical, you and hey, you and maybe, won't you guys all pray, and just do it in you go first, you go second, you go third. It's not like that. The host pastor, Brother Mike, gets up and he says, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have our fellows come down and pray. Keep in mind, their sanctuary full of pews, but they bring in so many chairs too. It's very narrow down through the side aisles. And so it's difficult to get down through there. But those preachers will cover up the altar. I'm talking, it is packed out. There are preachers on top of preachers on top of preachers, and then they go in the chairs. They're knelt at the chairs, and then up the aisle. There are preachers everywhere. They're like ants. They're crawling everywhere. Needless to say, there's a lot of chicken that gets eaten that week, okay? But it's everywhere, and it's great. And Brother Mike will say this to his wife, who runs a sound booth. He'll say this. He'll say, why don't you go ahead and start singing? He'll name a song. And she will begin to lead this song. Just from where she is, she begins to sing very softly, and all the ladies begin to sing. It's beautiful. I mean, it's like it's angelic. And then all of a sudden, all these preachers start praying. Do you know what they don't do? They don't take turns. Number one, I'm glad they don't, because you know how long we would be? We'd still be there from 2 years ago praying. Wait on them guys to pray. Some of them guys can pray. I'm talking, you can hear. You know that when you hear there's this one particular preacher, when he prays, I think God himself goes, we're going to be here a while. Because, I mean, the guy just prays and prays and prays, you know. And so when they start praying, there's just this awesome, powerful sound. It's amazing, Miss Betty. It just blows your mind. And you know the cool thing about that is this. God hears every individual one that's all going on. He knows the heart of everybody. He hears it's not like God says, that guy was louder and I heard him more than he. No, every single prayer that's going on, all at the same time, God knows every intricate thing of all of it. That's pretty awesome. Of course, you know how Baptists are. We get together and we're like, let's just don't say anything until... Is anybody going to pray? You know, 3 years ago when we started meeting on Sunday mornings and praying, nobody prayed. I remember that. I said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start praying. And we bow our heads for prayer.